This is Day Trading Options, our daily review for June 15th, 2015. We have a philosophy that you need to look after your rent and your food and your children and your significant other and your parents and your grandchildren and your neighborhood before you get greedy and decide to become ultra wealthy. Because oftentimes what happens is people will spend a small fortune doing something, and the result of which is they end up in bankruptcy. And sometimes they can end up in bankruptcy doing everything right, just the nature of the beast. Recently, the Swiss franc unpegged from the euro and dropped 20%, and there were a number of companies that were doing quite well who filed for bankruptcy immediately thereafter because it just wiped them out. Did they do something wrong? Maybe, maybe not, who knows? But these things happen. And so it's really important for us that if you're following what we teach is that you look after feeding your children and you don't get into a position of financial stress. That's why you will look at a lot of the videos where we say, here's 10% in 10 minutes. And Alan goes, yep, we made our 10%. Oh, maybe it's 12%. And we're out. And I'm not really interested in what happened after that. And you may bring up that day and you may say, wow, like if he'd have hung in there, he could have made 30, 40, 50%. We've seen days where you could actually double your money if you knew what you were doing. And that's not the point of what we're trying to teach you. We're not trying to teach you. We are trying to teach you to be wealthy, and you can be wealthy really, really quickly with a lot of risk, or you can be wealthy not quite so quickly, but still fairly quickly, and maintain less stress, better life, and less risk. And so that's what we're really talking about when we talk about the 10% in 10 minutes. And once you've done that and you know, hey, without a shadow of a doubt, I can be prepared for the 9:30 bell, and within an hour or two, I can have my 10% in 10 minutes. Then you've looked after your family and your friends and all that sort of good stuff. And then you can go and you can make different trades to, create whatever you need to create for whatever your goals are. But I really feel that it's important that we emphasize to you and editorialize on this that, yes, we know you could have made a lot more money, and that's called greed. You need to set a goal, achieve the goal, and then if you want to set another goal, wonderful. But our goal that we're setting and we think you should pay attention to is creating 10% in 10 minutes, doing it consistently. That's going to grow your wealth phenomenally well over the next couple of years. And as you do that, then it's like, okay, I made my 10%. That's in that bank account or that trading account. I have another trading account that I want to create wealth so I can buy my house, so I can buy my yacht, so I can go on my trip, take my kids to Disneyland, whatever it is that you want to do, buy that car, that you could never afford working wherever it is that you work. But that's separate. And it's really important to us that you keep that separate. I think I'm speaking for Alan and I when I say that. He may have slightly different viewpoints on these things, but there's nothing worse for us than to have someone say, yeah, I've made a successful trade, and then lost all my money. And why? Well, I didn't follow the rules. I got greedy, and I was run by fear. So we're here to talk about greed, talk about fear, and show you how you can be consistent in the market, because we know that inconsistency in the market, making 100% today and losing 200% tomorrow, makes people very fearful, and they stop. And we don't want you to stop, because we think this is a great way to get out of the rat race. And Kawasaki, in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, talks about getting out of the rat race means on the first of the month, all my monthly expenses are paid for. And now everything I do for the rest of the month is what I want to do and create. And that could be money, that could be fun, that could be exercise, that could be health, that could be philosophy, learning, whatever it is. And it's not dependent upon my activities every day, which of course in the 40-hour rat race, 40-year plan, you start the beginning of the month with having to make money for your mortgage, having to make money for your car payment, having to make money for your credit card payment, having to buy food, having to buy clothes, all those sort of things. And of course, it's really stressful. So we're about getting you out of the rat race. And with that, we're going to show you what happened on the 15th of June, 2015. Right, Alan?
You betcha. And yeah, I do agree with you. It's I know a lot of people have made fortunes and lost them, and it's no fun losing it, especially after you worked hard to make it. So they usually learn the lesson of being a little bit more conservative. We're not talking about, wearing a button-up shirt right up to your nose, conservative. It's one of those, it's like, well, if I put everything on the line and it goes wrong, I got nothing. How about if I just put maybe less and then I still have something so I can play tomorrow? So here at this one, we're looking at a stock is Wynn Resorts. And it's coming off a low. This is a great example of a gap that filled. And, you can learn all these things, but this is a good example. If I throw up the 15-minute chart, it means that the stock opened down there and then ran up. And so yesterday it closed here. The low for the day was right there. Anyways, it ran back up. And that's because it was a small gap and all these things that gaps do. We do talk about that, but here I'm just going to show you, why did you pick that one? Well, I got two kinds of color. It fits the usual rules. And when I say color, the tint, I got both tints going for me. I got a bit of volume, and the basket's pretty green. So this is like, hello, we're just going to go buy that. So let me go hit the buy call button. There we go. So I'm in it, and we go 1 minute. I'm almost there. In fact, I would have got out at 10% at the top of that candle. You say it isn't so. Show me. Well, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And so I'm out, and you see that's 13%. It's lower than the top of that. So do we hang on? No. There's some clues for longer trades, and we're getting that all organized for people. But anyways, we're just going to keep doing a bread and butter trade, because if you can do that, then you can do the longer trades. It's not the other way around. People that have tried doing the long trades first usually fail.
I like the way you put that, Alan. We're doing the bread and butter trades. We're going to talk about that from now on. The filet mignon trades, they're coming, but you got to be able to do the bread and butter ones first.
Yeah. So let's go look at another stock. Does this not look like the other trade? Yes, it does, very much in many ways. And what we're going to do is we're going to say that we got in here. See, like it crept up here, but then it did nothing, fell back. Now it finally made a little bit of a higher high. Market's still green. This is exactly after the other trade exited. This one set up. So here we go. We hit the buy button and we'll go forward 1 minute. Oh, 19%. I'm so confused. What am I supposed to do?
Oops.
Just
get paid.
Here, you get paid. And someone was telling me recently that they got paid in their 10% in 14 seconds. Because when they placed their order, they placed the get me in and here's my take me out price. So that was, and yeah, they do happen, and they're quite a lot of fun. But quite often people go, oh, but. And it's like, no. That, again, bread and butter's first. When you get good at that, we'll talk about other things. So let's go look at another stock here and just say, well, was there something else? You can see here, this one's not set up. And, well, still not set up. Nope. Almost, maybe. Kinda. Oh, look at that. Now, why I like it? Broke the low of the day, broke SC. Market is red. It says I should be looking for red. I have some volume. I don't know. Looks like a buy on a put side. So the basket's red. Everything's red. And if we look at the multi-day 15-minute chart, it's broken below. We sometimes call this clear to the left, that there's no support on this time frame. There may be on another time frame, but so let's just go hit it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There, now it's starting to look right. 7, 8. This is one I definitely wouldn't hang around for because it blew back on me a bit when I got into it. So we'll happily just take them
Also,
up.
the market has turned green.
Ah, so perhaps that's why it blew back on me. And it's also saying don't get in right now. I mean, you could, but you know, that's what that little cloudy symbol is like, eh. So just for fun, we're going to go look at another stock at the later part of the day. Here we're just going to bring up the controller because that's an easy way to get there. And this one happened just before 2 o'clock, where it was, again, similar kind of rules, but a different stock. So this isn't it. Let's go look at the one I like. And we'll take that out of the way. So what's interesting about this stock? Well, the market's kind of green, but the basket's kind of red. So, you know, is this really a good time to get in? No, it's mixed mind, and it ran away from me. So we're going to go forward a little bit more. See, this is the power of signals. If I used just my emotional and thinkings without the indicators, it'd be like, well, that looks like a good time to get in. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Now, this looks like a better time to get in. It's not great, though, but I'm just going to show it to you. Why I like it is because it's beat the high of the day, and the market's been generally green, but this is not a good trade. My point, though, is there are other trades at the rest of the day. If you do get good with things, you can find other trades. So how did this one do? Well, it did great. Well, why did this stock do great? It's because out there around this time, there was announcements saying, hey, you know, Tesla's got a great future. Well, of course, there's going to be a bunch of buyers out there, and that's what happened here, is all this crazy volume kicked in. That, you know, you can hang on to that and make some money, but, you know, we've made enough. So let's just do a review and call it a day. So we started out with Win, and we made the 13% in 3 minutes. Remember, the market moves really well in the first, 15 minutes of the day, or first even hour. And then Humira, that one did in 1 minute. That was the surprise that we get occasionally. And then there was Amazon that took 8 minutes to do about 10%. And then here at the end of the day, we had some news that carried us up the hill, and you could have hung on to that. But that, even there, that was like 30 minutes almost, or 20 some minutes. And yeah, those are not as usual as the ones in the morning, where there's a few more to pick from. So that's it for the 15th.
Awesome. Thanks, Alan. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And on the bottom right-hand corner, we have a little subscribe button. Hit the subscribe so you don't miss any of our exciting episodes, 10% in 10 minutes. And in the descriptions, we've got links to our courses on Udemy with a really nice little discount on what our regular course is, because we want to thank you very much for subscribing and watching our videos. So you can take the courses, get into this in a lot more depth. You notice we don't do a lot of training. We sort of show you little clues, and our students really appreciate that, because after they look at the training and then we point out the clues, everything becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. And we really want to emphasize that this is a wonderful skill to have. And like any skill that's wonderful, it takes some practice. So we look forward to having you join us on this wonderful journey, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.